Welcome to the Rendered Image Show. My name is Tyler Babb. How you guys doing today? Thank you for joining me on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. Today we will be talking about lots and lots of topics. Thank you so much. This is episode 9. My social media links are down in the description, so you can check those out. Also, you can join our Discord. That'd be great. Link is down in the description. But anyways, what is this show? What's going on? We're talking about movies and movie news. It's the greatest movies and movie news show on the planet. Just kidding. Actually, no, I really enjoy it. You guys can interact with me in the chat. Go ahead, drop your hellos, drop your highs. You can come in the chat. We have lots of stuff that we want to talk about today. I want to kind of update you on what I've been doing with my thesis and my film and stuff. I got a couple things to show you, and we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Venom 2 trailer. We're going to be talking about what's going on at Disney right now with the switchover of the CEO. Bob Iger is out. Bob Chapek is in. He's been in for a while, but the switch is causing some issues. So we're going to be talking about that. The big news that dropped a few days ago, yesterday or the day before or whatever, the Discovery Plus, Discovery Channel, all that stuff, they've officially bought WarnerMedia. So that's a huge shift in our industry. So we want to take a look at that and potentially what that means. Is it good? Is it bad? And then we will also talk about a couple more things. Sonic 2 has wrapped, so we will kind of give our thoughts on that. And then I want to take a look at an article. What I want to start doing on this show is kind of just bringing up articles at the end of our show and just kind of giving us a little peek behind the curtain as to what goes on in the industry of film and stuff. So I have a cool CG behind-the-scenes interview with the VFX of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's a cool interview that we will check out and we will read together. So that's going to be the show today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please drop that like button, hit that like button because it really helps out the show. Shoots it out into the stratosphere, wakes up the YouTube algorithm and lets us know that we're here and that we're doing the show and that we're live. So, and like I said, don't be afraid to drop in the chat and say hello to me. So, because I enjoy interaction, I enjoy engagement. If you guys want to show support for the show, for the channel, like I said, you can hit the join button. There's a join link in the description. That basically means you can support the channel monetarily, which really helps us out here on the channel. We have lots of content. We have gaming content on the channel. We have movie content on the channel. We have movie news content on the channel. You can play games with us. We have game news shows. You can do all sorts of stuff, and we are also developing our own original content for you guys, like I've been saying many times on many different shows. So all that's coming down the pipeline. And yeah, so let's talk about thesis, right? You guys are probably wondering what's going on. Let's get into thesis. Oh, let's play the bumper. Why don't we? There it is, the rendered image. Welcome. Here we go. So we got the thesis, right? And you're like, Tyler, what's going on? This thesis that you keep talking about. What's up? Well, let me give you a brief synopsis of the thesis. So the thesis is about our main character, Jason, and he gets trapped in a government facility, top secret government facility where they're basically working on aliens. And it's like, aliens, woohoo. And he basically has to survive the night. And it's the way that I always describe it is Aliens meets Die Hard. It's going to be a fun little short, about 10 to 12 minutes long. So the team and I, Zach and I, and then my team, my producers and my actors, we've been hard at work. Looks like I'm peaking. I'm sorry. I don't mean to peak. We've been hard at work for a few months now developing things, and I wanted to show you guys what we've been doing. So if I go over here, right, we can do this. And then I can show you guys what we got going on here. So check this out. So this is a render that we did. So this is the alien. Okay. So we are dealing, and now mind you, this is not fully textured. So excuse this. This arm is not, it's not rigged exactly properly, and it's not textured fully. right? So I was just kind of playing around. I just want to give kind of a sense of the level, the production quality. We are going to be launching our crowdfunding campaign soon, and so I'm starting to create assets in order to build that crowdfunding campaign. It's going to be a fun time. Our cast is super talented. The whole team is super excited. It's super ambitious for me personally. I've been learning CG and I've been learning VFX for about a year and a half almost. So it's going to be a fun testing ground. I like to see these things as like, because there's not a ton of money behind it. It's very indie, but that doesn't mean that we can't push. That's kind of always my thought process going behind making projects is, and this is the type of stuff that we want to introduce on the channel, by the way. Like, this is kind of the level of quality that we want to bring to the Young Calves community, and bring you guys in on how we make this stuff, and kind of making entertainment for you guys. We are your content creators, we are your mentors, we are your friends here on the channel, and this is the type of stuff that I personally want to introduce to the community going forward. So yeah, he's a pretty scary looking dude. We got some nice volumetric atmosphere going on here. There's a spotlight right behind him. He's only really lit with one light that's shooting directly behind him. It's a little overexposed, but I threw this together pretty quickly last night. This was maybe like 20 minutes of work. Still got to fully texture him, but all that's to say, working on that. I'm excited. Looks like we're going to shoot around Father's Day. So either the week after Father's Day is when we're going to actually start production. So it's moving fast. The only thing that we need right now is locations. The script is pretty much locked here, very close to being locked. And it's coming together. We've had some rehearsals. I'm meeting with my actors tonight. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's going to be, and we're going to have all the behind the scenes content. We're going to have exclusive content. If you're a member, you can join the channel and become a member, and you'll get access to exclusive behind the scenes content. We'll probably do exclusive tutorials just for members on how we did all this stuff, the mocap, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a fun time. We will release stuff not to members, but definitely if you're a member on this channel, you will get access to some pretty wild, unique behind the scenes. And I will definitely probably on some shows, we'll just have some shows like in July where I will literally just be sitting and cutting the film and working on the VFX. And you guys will just be able to sit in with me while I do it. So that is the plan moving forward. We will exit out all the screens. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and that's a little update on my life. Gotta always have the water. I'm probably gonna run out of water in the classic Coke glass. Probably gonna run out of water. I always seem to run out of water because I talk a lot. So that seems to happen. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy movie news, all this type of stuff. It really helps the algorithm. So hit that like button, guys. Thank you so much. And interact with me in the chat. Don't be afraid to speak up. If you got something to say, I want to hear your opinions, especially on these topics. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, and I think it's going to be very interesting. So without any further ado, let's get right into it, and we'll talk about our first topic, which is the Venom 2 trailer that dropped last week, I think. We missed a week. It's just been crazy with the thesis and trying to get everything moving. So much happened last week with the thesis that it was like casting and like finalizing the script and buying the model and rigging, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of crazy stuff. We got our gimbal. So we were balancing our gimbal and practicing with our gimbal. A lot of stuff happened. It was wild. But yeah, the Venom 2 trailer dropped. I've seen it like twice. And it looks good. I'm gonna give you my straight opinion. I think the tone of the first movie threw me off to the point where I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting. They're very much leaning on it's an action comedy. That's what it is. It's an action comedy, and I don't know if some of that like Marvel. There's a hint of the Marvel action comedy tone in the film, the first one specifically, and then also in this one. I mean, they've carried it over. I was wondering, I was like, are they going to switch it up at all? Are they gonna, because they brought Andy Serkis on. Andy Serkis, for those of you who don't know, played Gollum and also played Caesar in the new Planet of the Apes films, Gollum in Lord of the Rings. And so you have to wonder, were they going to switch the tone? Was it going to be a darker? Was it going to be a more serious tone? And it doesn't look like that. It looks like from the trailer, and again, people can interpret this differently maybe, but I definitely feel like it's an action comedy. They're leaning into Tom Hardy's the comedic side of Tom Hardy, which I think works specific. I mean, the dynamic that they've created between the Venom character and the Eddie Brock character and how they do that, I think it works for the film. I think it creates a very unique tone. The movie looks action-packed. Having Woody Harrelson in as Venom, I think is inspired, like such a cool choice. Not somebody that I would have probably cast initially, but such a super interesting casting choice. I've never really been like, I'm not the biggest fan of Venom. I'm not the biggest fan of Carnage. I think in terms of character development, like, I mean, I know there's like newer versions of them, right, in the comics and stuff, and Eddie Brock goes and does other things, but I've just always thought like their characters are kind of weak. Not in terms of like ability or powers or whatever, but just like the characters themselves, like Eddie Brock and Cletus Cassidy, like I just don't find them interesting. I'm like, okay, cool, but like there are way more interesting Spider-Man characters in Spider-Man's universe that I care about rather than Venom. I mean, Venom's a cool looking character, and Todd McFarlane like designed a great, like an awesome looking character, but I don't know, doesn't really get my excitement going, because I'm not a huge Venom fan. But I enjoyed the first movie. I actually laughed at the first movie. I remember I was in the theater, and I was the one, I saw the tone. I remember that. I was in the theater, and so many people went in thinking that it was going to be such a serious movie, right? They're like, this is Venom. This is serious. And you had like hardcore fans who were like, like, I can't laugh at this. Like, this is Venom. This is serious. And from the first shot, it was just something about the first shot. You can tell, because the spaceship is crashing towards Earth, and they got the the people, the astronauts in the spaceship are like freaking out, and they're like screaming or whatever, blah 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 blah. But they don't cut into the ship. They don't show the astronauts in the spaceship. And for some reason, to me that was a comedic decision. To me that was like, because when you edit a film, you don't do things by mistake. Everything is on purpose. Movie making is a series of deliberate decisions. Some stuff gets overlooked, and then you can tell when you watch the final product if it's not good. You know what I'm saying? If it's not good or whatever, whatever good is. But like, everything that you see on the screen is somebody's decision. Somebody finalized something. Somebody finalized an edit. Somebody finalized the VFX. Somebody signed off on everything that you're seeing. Sound design, dialogue, character, everything. So just know that when you watch movies, and for some reason in the beginning of that film, when they didn't cut into the ship and they didn't show it, it's not that they don't have the budget to show the inside of the ship, but to me, it made me laugh. To me, I was like, oh, okay. I immediately got the tone. I understood it. And so I started laughing. And then they cut in and they go to a montage of Eddie Brock's news reporting. And it's like, and Tom Hardy is being funny. Like, he's being comedic. The way he's delivering the line. Like, we've seen him be serious. Like, you see him act in serious roles. This ain't a serious role for him. I'm just letting you know. you could tell from the jump, you were like, oh, okay. And it was like this crazy montage and and flying around, and then he's interviewing Riz Ahmed's character, and he's like walking around with like this notepad, and he's and he's making all these snarky comments and and you could just tell. And I was cracking up. I was laughing from the moment that it started. And I remember I was getting some side eyes. I was getting some people looking at me like, you shouldn't be laughing at this. This is Venom. This isn't funny. It's like, no, this is funny. Like this is the tone of the movie. Like and that's what I'm saying. You have to take your perception, whatever you think whoever you think the character is, however you think what the movie should be like. Like when you walk into a theater, when you watch a movie, you have to surrender yourself to the creators that have made the movie for you, because they have an interesting take, right? Like they have their own unique take. So you have to let it wash over you, and you have to let them present to you their interpretation of the source material. And I recognize from the get-go that, like, oh, okay. And it heightened my enjoyment for the movie. And I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't thrown off, because I was in. I was like, all right, it's going to be a comedy. This trailer looks very much like the same thing, but tweaked just slightly with a little bit more seriousness. You know what I'm saying? These stakes, so we're talking about stakes, right? And what stakes are is like the stakes of the situation, right? We all understand what that is. And it seems to me like the stakes of this movie and the journey, the obstacle that Venom and Eddie Brock, are going to have to overcome are much more personal. And I like that, right? Like, flesh out Eddie Brock as a character more, you know? Don't make him, I enjoy the comedic side of things, but don't make him so much of a cartoon. Like, let's peel back that character a little bit. Let's get to the nitty gritty, and let's make it more of a personal stakes for Venom and Eddie Brock. So, and it seems like they're doing that. If anything, I think Andy Serkis is going to bring that to the table. Where the first one, I was just like, I don't care about these stakes. I don't care about, like, discount Elon Musk, like, doing whatever with his corporation, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just like, I don't understand. And, like, why is Venom, you can always look at it like, take the stakes and take the situation and then take the character. And you go, is this character the right character for the universe to solve this problem? And sort of, in the first one, yeah, sure. But any real character could have solved that issue. So I'm excited for this film, for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, to maybe have a little bit more personal stakes than, say, the first one. So it's very action-packed. The VFX look fine to me, I guess. I always think the symbiotes look a little janky. That's just me. The big reveal of Carnage in the trailer was kind of a letdown, and the only reason why I say that is because, and I don't know, maybe I'm just very judgmental because we're currently working with a model, and I'm currently working with some sort of alien model, so I've like moved around the model to figure out what angles are the best angles, and I just don't think that angle, the shot where we see Carnage like roaring, I don't think these symbiote models look good from below. I think when you frame, I think they look good. Like whenever you see a shot of Venom looking up to camera, like looking up at the camera, I think it looks great. I think it looks like Venom. I think it's fantastic. But when you bring the camera underneath the characters and these models that they have, I just think it looks weird. Their face becomes like elongated. It just doesn't look good. I still think it looks good. So that reveal to me fell flat because I was like, oh, that's not the best angle of these characters, and it makes it look not so great, in my opinion. So I really wish it would have been I really wish it would have been a top-down shot of Carnage instead of that like kind of underneath. I understand, because when you position the camera underneath, you're showing power, you're showing you know what I'm saying? You're showing power for your character. You know, you're establishing their dominance over the frame. I just don't think it worked in that sense. What's going on, Alicia? How you doing? You never saw the first Venom. May or may not see the second. We'll see. Yeah, I think, you know, Venom is such an acquired taste, right? Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Venom. I'm so busy right now that I don't even know if I'll see it right away. I don't know. There's so much going on. So I don't know. I don't know when I'll get to see it. I haven't been to the movie theaters in a while. I know that Fast 9 just came out, or is coming out soon. So, but I haven't heard good things about that. So, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please, if you like this stuff, drop a like. We are The Rendered Image. We talk movies and movie news. This show happens every Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Just in case you were wondering, my name is Tyler Babb. Just in case you're joining us, if you've just joined us randomly. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Thank you guys so much. We can probably move on, if I could say. Man, this light is bright, man. I can't even, like... Is that fine for you guys? Oh, sorry. Is that okay? Because, like, I can't see my screen, so I can't see what I'm doing. It gets hard, man. It gets hard to see what you're doing. Next story. Next story. Here we go. Transfer in the stories. So we got Bob Chapek. That's Bob Chapek right there. He's the new CEO of Disney. Taking over for Bob Iger, who was the CEO before him. Bob Iger is responsible for acquiring properties such as Marvel Studios and Star Wars, right? He's the big guy in charge of buying all that stuff. And so he made, and also Disney, like, his legacy is buying Star Wars, getting Marvel, and then obviously starting Disney Plus. Like, that's his legacy. Okay. Bob Iger's awesome. If you're asking me, I love Bob Iger. I think he did great things for the company. There's reports out. So Bob is officially going to, this is Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek is officially the CEO of Disney now, and he's now just starting to implement some changes over at Disney, and some changes that I'm not very fond of, if I'm going to be honest. There's insiders, there's executives that have basically stated that they are confused and that things may not be looking so great for the future of Disney. Well, again, we'll have to see, but the reasoning behind this is because Bob Iger was somebody who was a proponent and a big backer of letting the creatives lead the charge, right? That's why you had Mandalorian. That's why you have Kevin Feige in the MCU. He was very much a person who was like, we're going to let the creative people come in and then dictate what we do as a studio, right? And where we go, but the creator first. And all the reports that we've seen from what Bob Chapek is doing, he's basically flipping that. You had Alan Horn came in to be the guy for content creation, to be the head of the content creation. And he was retired beforehand, but Bob pulled him in, and so Alan was a great guy, who had a long career and a very successful track record of creating stuff. And him and Bob Iger were on the same track of let the creatives move the industry, or let the creatives move our company and where it needs to go. Everything that we're hearing about what Bob Chapek is doing, on the other hand, is the complete opposite of that. He has effectively said that he's going to strip away that old moniker of let the creatives lead, and he's basically bringing back more control to the executives and less control for the creatives, which is not a good sign. I don't think that's a good sign, especially when like we're in the world of content creation, right? We're in the boom, we're in the epicenter, we're in the moment where you want as many talented creative people as possible under your stream, under your umbrella, right? Like that's just where we're at right now. Like these services that have to pump out content constantly to keep you entertained and to keep you coming back, you need talent. And in order to do that, you need to be a place where somebody wants to work, right? Like you have to attract people. You have to be, if I'm a creator, right, which I am, and you have the ability to go over to Netflix, or you have the ability to go over to the new WarnerMedia and Discovery, what they're doing over there, or Disney, it's just like, where do you want to go? Do you want to work for somebody who's going to prioritize you and who's going to listen to the input and the stuff you have to say? Or are you going to, or are you going to go, are you going to go to Disney? You know what I'm saying? Where they don't, or seemingly, again, we don't know. Again, I don't know. This is all just reports, but like, I'm worried. Because this is not, it seems like Bob Iger sent us off, and why he picked this dude as his successor, I don't know. But yeah, I heard, through the grapevine, their relationship isn't the strongest. They had a good relationship and now they don't. This just also goes back to people that run these companies. They're not creative people, man. They go to business school. They go to, they go to school to learn business and finance and all this other stuff. And you don't, kind of the same. And this is the same thing that's going on with the Warner Brothers thing. I don't want to, I mean, it's very similar, right? These stories are very similar. Same thing that's happened with Warner Brothers, and AT&T and everything that happened like that. And Chuck and I, and hopefully Zach, hopefully he'll be on the next Pop Culture Cave on Friday. Pop Culture Cave is on Fridays, by the way. Friday mornings at 11 a.m. with myself, Chuck, and Zach. We will definitely dive deeper into the WarnerMedia Discovery deal. We'll definitely talk about that and give our opinions. I will bring it up on the show. It's definitely a topic I want to talk about later, but we will go deeper. We will dive a little deeper. Nick says, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Nick. Thank you so much for joining, dropping a like. We're at 9 likes. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. But like I said, these people, so basically you want to get people in these departments. And also too, Bob Iger was somebody who liked to cut out middlemen, right? And just streamline as much as he possibly could. Whereas it seems like Bob Chapek, from the article that I was reading, he's going to bring on somebody, I think it's the Consumer Home Video Network, or the person that was in charge of, at Disney, the person that was in charge of the consumer home video. He's now going to be in charge of the content creation, the movie side of things. And that worries me a little bit. Because if you're not, I mean, this is the thing. You should be, and we should just be we should be past the point where people that are like making the big crucial decisions are not creatives. We should just be past that. I'm tired of, I understand back in the day there was less and less, and maybe it'll change in the future. At least I'm hoping. I'm hoping with us growing as a society in terms of everybody's creating content now, it seems like on some level, right? We all have a phone. We can all create. We create every day. I mean, you create every day regardless. You make stuff regardless, whether it's, food or, whatever. You're cooking some food or whatever. Like, we're always creating. We're creative. That's just what humans are. Humans are creative. Whether you think you are or not, you're creating things. And I'm just hoping that in the future, more creative people get into these executive positions, to where we don't have to deal with the moneyed interests making decisions that are not good, that they think are good for the company, but are not good for the audience and are not good for the consumer. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously movies are products, right? Like that's go. Okay, you guys are hearing me? Cool. I think we're back now. Sorry about that. That was crazy. Nailed it. Yeah, I hit the power button with my foot. So that killed everything. Everything just like boom, and just died. And I was like, "Oh no. Not good." So, but we're back. That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Sorry about that. But anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. I was talking about Bob Chapek and oh yeah, creatives. I hope that in the future that Bob Chapek can make things right and don't destroy things, please. We're at 10 likes. That's great. But yeah, I'm scared. I'm gonna be honest. I'm scared for Disney in terms of creatively, right? Like financially, they're fine. Financially, I'm not worried. I'm peeking again. I'm sorry. Financially, I'm not worried about them. Obviously, you should never really be. I mean, don't say never, but I'm not worried about Disney financially. But creatively, I just hope that we can kind of get back to some sort of, don't lose the momentum, because I think Disney's got a lot of great things going. I think the Disney Plus is awesome. I think their movies are I think you could make a little bit more original content for sure. It'd be nice to give, because there's so many so many different avenues. There's so many different creatives nowadays that can make content, right? Whether it be online or for your streaming service or for their YouTube or whatever. Like, these companies need to expand. They need to understand where the world is going, and I think they need to take a step outside of themselves for a minute and maybe just analyze where things are going, because things are changing. Hollywood's changing. Everything is changing. That's been like the theme of the shows, and I think will be the theme for the rest of our lives. Is stuff changes, and you got to be ready. You got to be ready. Nick says, "OMG, wow, nice save." Yeah, no, I it all died, and then I gotta watch my feet though. I can't kick the cord. I can't kick the little power strip. Literally, I hit that button, and I knew it as soon as I hit that button. I was like, "Oh no!" And then it all died. I was like, "Oh, I knew that was no." So, but either way, my feet get excited when I start talking. My feet start moving, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you guys think that Disney? Do you like the track of Disney? Do you enjoy Disney Plus? Do you have a Disney Plus subscription? Do you, because obviously things have changed in the last 10 years for Disney as a whole. So you just gotta wonder how it all goes, and I just hope that bring control to the creatives, especially in this time. Like I've said, especially right now, you don't want to take the control away from the creatives, because one, those creatives are going to go, and we've seen it. I'll bring this up when we talk about the Warner thing. You don't want to piss off creators, because creatives have the power now. The dynamic in the industry has shifted to where creatives have the power. Straight up, they do. Movie stars don't have the pull they once had. They just don't. Okay, a lot of people are spending on YouTube and looking at content creators in general. So a lot more people have become a lot more savvy to how things are made and to how things are done. and they will judge a studio, and they will, they very much will be like, no, I'm not going to spend my money on that. And there are many reasons, why somebody may not support Disney. I totally understand that, but they make content and they own IP that I enjoy, so I'm gonna root for them. I will always root for them because, again, they own IP that I enjoy. I'm gonna be honest, and you have to think about it this way: if they didn't own Disney, if they didn't own Marvel, or sorry, if they didn't own Disney, oh my goodness, if they didn't own Marvel and if they didn't own Star Wars, would I be interested in Disney? I'm gonna tell you, probably not. Probably not. If they didn't have Marvel, and I think that's what Bob Iger saw. I think Bob Iger realized, well, in order for us to stay relevant, and in order for us to like move into the future, like, we have to acquire Marvel and we have to acquire Star Wars. Maybe Marvel more so than Star Wars. We'll see about the future of Star Wars. I'm still skeptical on how well Star Wars can do in the future. I don't know. Because, again, they're trying to build, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video, but I think, again, you're trying to, they were essentially a trilogy of movies. They were one man's idea, and now we've stretched that IP over, almost 50 years? Have we hit the 50 year yet? Not yet. But almost 50 years of an IP that was originally just the sci-fi, just the science, fantasy sci-fi trilogy from one man. You know what I'm saying? And, like, we're just trying to milk. The comics, I think, are like Marvel comics are a little different because those were like monthly. The format, those were comics, so those were formatted to be monthly stories. But, like, Disney is just like, we're trying to suck, like, Luke Skywalker, and, like, we're done with the Skywalkers, but we're gonna bring him back in the Mandalorian. Like, it's just like, like, you can feel them sucking these properties dry. In terms of specifically Star Wars, I think you can do Marvel for a long time. It's fine. They have tons of stuff in Marvel, but I'm just worried. Nick says, I'm fairly mixed. I was a big fan of Star Wars, the Clone Wars show. Disney killed it when they acquired the IP, but after Disney Plus, they brought the show back. Finished a lost season. Yeah, like, I think they'll do little things to, like, but that's a problem. That's what I'm saying. They're going back. For the last, I don't know. Well, okay, so ever since The Force Awakens, I've wanted to move forward, right? Like, I got the original trilogy. I lived during, like, the original trilogy and then the prequels, and like once they announced The Force Awakens, I was like, sweet, we're going to move into the future. Like, we're moving forward with Star Wars. Like, we're going to meet all new characters. We're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. We're going to see a new Jedi Order. We're going to like, and that's the thing. Like, they screwed it up because fans had this expectation going into The Force Awakens, like, all right, cool, we're going to be introduced to a new main character. We're going to see the new Jedi Order. There's going to be a new threat in the galaxy. Like, Star Wars is Star Wars. You know what Star Wars is going to be. So you're like, these little boxes that you were ticking, you're like, all right, new threat to the galaxy. This and that, this and that. Luke may appear. Cool, whatever. Luke will come back. He'll have started the Jedi Order. We'll get him a new main character, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the route they should have gone. But instead, we just played this game of, like, no, we want to go back. Like, that's all Disney's been doing, man. Disney's just been, no, we want to revisit the past because people love the past. Okay, well, people in my generation who grew up on the prequels, like, we're getting older. And the people that grew up on the original trilogy, they're even older than us. So we're past that. And the younger generation doesn't care about, not to say everybody, but the majority of the younger generation who, let's be honest, the younger generation is what Star Wars is built on. It's built on the back of the younger generation. If you don't have the younger, and we've just seen that, it's just proof. The merchandise has crapped out. The toy sales, everything is tanked because they didn't focus on making a new story for a new generation. They kind of did it, but they half did it, and then they didn't. And they didn't do it very well. They didn't give us, I still think, the best character out of that new trilogy is Kylo Ren. But either way, I'm going off on a tangent. All this to say that I don't know. I'm skeptical about Bob Chapek's direction. I'm skeptical about where he's going to take Disney moving forward. And just keep an eye on it. And if you see things are definitely going to change. You're definitely going to see some sort of shift in the not necessarily the quality of content, but there's going to be moves that are going to be made, and we've talked about it here on the show. So you'll be able to come back and see the show and be like, aha, we did talk about this, a year from now or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Alicia says, yeah, Mando is great because we got a new story, new trilogy, and Disney in general are playing too hard on the nostalgia effect. That's why all the live action reboots. Yeah. I mean, there's a place for nostalgia, don't get me wrong. Like, it sucks you in. Of course I want to be nostalgic. I want to have, but nostalgic in the tone, right? I think a lot of where nostalgia comes from is the tone of these pieces, right? We listen to a certain type of music, but that music has a tone, right? We see a type of imagery, but that imagery has a tone. It's all about tone and feel. It's not necessarily like, oh, they love this character, Luke Skywalker, whatever. They love this character, so we got to bring them back, or they love these characters, so we have to do a reboot, or we have to do a remake. It's like, no. You can still carry the same tone that we all love and reminds us of the original, but you can make new things with it. And I think we are. I think just as a society, I think we're hitting a wall. I think we're getting drained. Just emotionally, I think we're getting drained of this reboot and this remake phenomena. I think as we just can't do it anymore. I think we're hungry for new content, right? We're hungry for original content. And that's kind of where we're at. We are hungry for original content. And if these studios don't give it to us, then we're going to go find it somewhere else. It's just a fact. Will you be able to find it on the Young Calves YouTube channel in the future? Definitely. Be on the lookout because we are creating original content for this channel. So just saying, shameless plug for the future of this channel and what we're going to be making. So we will be creating original content because we understand that people want original content. I will plug that till the sun comes up, but that is something that we're planning on doing. Ta-da. No, and it'll be fun. It's very exciting. I got some cool ideas. Let's see. Nick says, forcing the old characters into the story and focusing on them really spoke to Disney's lack of confidence moving forward. Yeah, like they have no future plans. I know that they have Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi's coming in to do a Star Wars movie. We'll see how that goes. But it's all about character, man. Movies are built on characters. You have to have interesting characters. You have to have characters that I want to follow. The whole reason, straight up, the whole reason why Star Wars was successful is because everybody could see themselves in Luke Skywalker. Everybody wanted to be Luke Skywalker. Everybody could relate to Luke Skywalker. And it was that fundamental, it's that primal feeling that you get, right? Of you could see Luke Skywalker and it was immediately like, oh, I know exactly what that feels like. Being born somewhere, being told that you're destined to be something and you wanting to escape and to become greater and live to your full potential. Everybody on the planet, okay, has felt that on some level, okay? And that's why Luke Skywalker is such a phenomenal character. And that's why George Lucas is such a phenomenal storyteller. It all goes back to storytelling. Everything that you encounter, everything that you watch, everything that you play, whether it be a video game, is storytelling. And if you sit back and you realize and you ask yourself, why do I like this stuff? And it's something more and more people should do. You should step away from whatever you're doing and figure out, well, why do I like this? It's important for you to know why you like the certain things that you like. Don't just do things because they're the popular thing to do, or don't just go along with what other people are saying or the opinions that they have. Don't do that. Step back and realize, I like this, and I like this for a specific reason. Okay, why? It helps you learn more about yourself. It helps you learn more about the world that you're like, just the world that we live in, and you can begin to contextualize things in certain ways, and then it kind of leads your priorities or what you want to do with your life, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of going on a rant. I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, that's enough about Mr. Bob Chapek. I think we can move on. If you guys haven't, please drop a like. It really helps the YouTube algorithm kind of wake up and see the show. If you enjoy this content, this show happens every Tuesday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. You can come sit with me and hear my ramblings and my opinions on the movies and the movie news. And also, too, there is a join link. There's a join feature. If you're on the mobile, there's a link in the description where you can join the channel, which means you can become a member of the channel and you can support us here as creatives. It's a monthly like payment that you can make to us. It's very small. It's nothing crazy, but it just helps us out. Like I said, we are developing original content, meaning like not just original shows. Yes, we have original shows, but original narrative content, like original shows, right? Like fiction, maybe some nonfiction, documentary stuff coming in the future too. I don't know. I have big plans. We have a lot of stuff that we're talking about doing. But that's what's so great. And like I said, you become a member, you get access to exclusive stuff. You can watch movies with us. All sorts of crazy things coming down the pipeline. I cannot wait to share everything. But yeah, we will move on to the next topic. Sonic. There's our boy Sonic. My throat is getting sore. So Sonic 2 wrapped production last week. That's very exciting. This is going to be a super short topic. I just wanted to let you guys know that they have wrapped production. So they will be going into post-production. And post-production is, so the three main, I did this, this is two. This is either way. So the three main phases of a movie are pre-production, production, principal photography, production, and then post-production. So pre-production is where you do all your planning, right? So you write the script, you cast your actors, you find locations, you start rehearsing, all that stuff. You start building the models, you start building the costumes, all sorts of stuff. And then production is where you actually go out and shoot things. Okay? And that can last it depends on the budget, it depends on the film. For my thesis stuff, I think we're shooting for like 4 days. For bigger budget movies, well, like medium budget movies-esque-ish, whatever, it's usually like 4 months-ish. And then for really, really big ones, it can be anywhere from 4 to 8 months that they shoot, or even 9 to 10 months. Or if you're Lord of the Rings, you were shooting for like a year straight. But either way, so they just wrapped production, which means they finished shooting. And there will be reshoots, obviously, and stuff like that. But now they go into post-production. And post-production is the editing of the film, obviously. The editing of the film, the finishing of the VFX, the sound design, and yeah, all that's very exciting. I'm excited for Sonic 2. I haven't seen the first one, but it looked good, and I heard good things about it, so I'm going to have to... I will probably wait until this one comes out and then see the first... Or maybe I don't even need to see the first one. I don't know. This one seems to be more because we have reports that like Tails is going to be in it and like Knuckles is going to be in it. So this one seems a little bit more Sonic-esque, like more true to Sonic. And so that's kind of more what I'm into because I grew up on Sonic. So I want to see Sonic be Sonic and not, I don't know. So I don't know. Once this comes out, I may see the first one and then see this one, or I might just go straight to this one. Who knows? But I would expect a trailer, probably like a teaser trailer, probably around. Depends. Maybe the end of summer. Depends on how fast. I mean, things move fast nowadays. That's another thing. Like productions move real quick. So you probably see a first look or a trailer probably sometime by the end of the summer. or maybe midsummer. I don't even know, July or August or the end of summer. Definitely. I don't know. But either way, it's exciting. I'm very excited. Nick says, "Oh, and all that content sounds so exciting." Well, yeah. Well, and Nick is a part of the channel. He has a show with his brother called The Gaming Twins, the Gaming Twin Show. That's on Thursdays at 7:30 or 8:30. I forget the time. I apologize. But anyways, it is on Thursday. You can catch him. You can blah 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 blah. You could catch Nick and Chuck on the Gaming Twin Show on Thursdays on this channel. They just had their first episode on the channel officially. That's also in our videos, so you can go back in our videos. It's only like 2 or 3 down now at this point, but you can check out their first episode on the channel. It was a super great episode. Their chemistry is amazing, and I'm just glad to have them a part of the channel. And yeah, he's hearing about all, like, I dropped some things right now in this show just about the things that I'm cooking up. So I'm very excited to start developing that with these guys. And yeah, growing the community. It's very, very, very exciting times. Alicia said, Charlotte is watching now. Sonic is her favorite. She started naming all the characters, and I said, maybe they'll be in it. Then she lost interest when I said it won't be in theaters till next year. Yeah, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. But there'll be trailers. You know what I'm saying? And the merchandise will be off the charts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Glad you enjoyed. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed. Definitely. You guys have to check out the Gaming Twin Show. If you're into games, if you're into gaming news, definitely that's the show for you to be on and to watch. Definitely. This channel is an entertainment channel in general. We talk about pop culture. We talk about movies. We talk about movie news. We talk about games. I know that we've had, I'm not going to give everything away, but there have been some things that we've been talking about. So I'm very excited. I cannot wait. The thesis is going to be when my thesis is done and we're able to show you guys the what we're cooking up there. That's basically the start of the original content. I mean, I really want to launch the thesis and have that kind of carry the wave of original content on this channel. In terms of narrative content, obviously, like this show is obviously original content too. But yeah, you know what I mean. What's up, Tyson? Tyson says, big congratulations to Chuck and Nick for reaching over 50 views on their video on the Young Calves. Which one is that? Their first show got 90. So unless they're the new... No, yeah, Gaming Twin Show, I think, is like... It's got 90 views right now. Or 80? 80 or 90 views. But yeah, no, congratulations. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. It's always super cool to see friends grow their show, right? Like that's the whole thing. And I'm a big... I think that's another thing too that we need to stop doing, and hopefully that's happening more and more as more people become creatives, but like we need to stop having egos. Like you got to check your ego at the door. Okay. It's like, we got to support each other. And you know what? That may sound cliche, but I truly, like, I believe it. Like I'm a person, like if one of my friends makes something, like I share it. Like I make sure that I'm there. I make sure that I like the video. I make sure that I show my support. Like, it's just the truth. If I, majority of my friends, I have a lot of friends who make a lot of stuff, and I try to share as much as I possibly can. And that's something that I've always done. It's not always reciprocated, and that's okay. That's fine. But I just think it's important to show support. It's important to, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? It's that one like, or it's that one share. And it only takes 2 seconds out of your day to share your friend's stuff. And if it's really good and you really believe in it, right? And you're like, oh, this is a fun time. And you can, and just give him, because by you sharing their content, you are opening up a new avenue and a new market to them. So to where they can gain new viewership, right? or I have friends who do production work, right? So who shoot things, or who edit things, or do who sound design. That's interesting, Tyler. Or do sound design, or whatever it is, right? And whenever even if I find opportunities for them, and I know they're a good fit, I will link them to that person, right? Like that's who I am. I'm like, oh, like I have a friend who shoots who shoots really well, and who can do cinematography really well, and this ad agency or whatever is looking for someone to shoot stuff. Boom, I'm going to plug this person with this contact. And that's just me. I think it's me being a responsible friend, and it's me being a responsible creator, because I understand it's a give and take system, right? You cannot go into this system being gimme, 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 gimme. Like, that doesn't work. People aren't going to want to work with you. And you're just not doing yourself a service by being like, gimme, 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 gimme. You got to give back, and you got to work hard. It's hard work. Producing these shows, I mean, we have shows on this channel. We have shows every week. We're now starting to do there's a show every day of the week. This stuff's hard to do, man. This is, but it's what we love to do. And it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Creating graphics and keeping up with the news and doing all this stuff, and then having fun. And then once we start producing our original content, like, it's work. It is complete work. And yes, we get advertising money. Yes, we get ad revenue from these videos. But our plan is to obviously put that back into the channel. So support your creatives. I will support as many creatives as I possibly can. I have huge plans. I mean, I've always thought about, this is something that I've always thought about, where I'm in film school, and I see a lot of people around me, who are working really hard. Right. And I've always wanted to be in a position where it's like, and there's always this myth of, oh, you gotta know somebody. It's not a myth. It's a true fact. It's about who you know. But you always have to go seek them, right? You always have to go seek them. And I would like to be in a position where I can go to film schools, or I can go to, VFX schools, or I can go to gaming schools, or, or game design schools, and I can find people. Like, I can legit say, hey, like, your work is, and like, that's kind of, it's weird, but it's like, it's one of my dreams to do that someday, where it's like, I can just walk into a classroom and maybe not directly be like, you're hired, right? Like, I wouldn't do that, but that would be super cool to be like, to pick somebody out who's working very, very hard, and who shows a lot of promise, and who I know has potential, and be able to pick them out and say, hey, like, I can give you an opportunity, and and I'm not going to say like, oh, we're going to give them a job, and they're going to be, whatever. But if I can change their life, even in a little way, if I can use my knowledge and use the skills and the whatever whatever that I have, the ability that I have to help somebody, because I've been through it, like, it's going on over a decade that I've been doing this stuff, and I understand the struggle. I get it. And so hopefully someday I can be at the position to where we can do that for people, and do that for many people. Nick says you'll inspire that generation. I hope so, man. I hope so. Nick says, let's rise this tide together. Yeah, no, I think, and the possibilities are endless, man. The stratosphere is wide open. The possibilities are endless. Let's go to the next topic, shall we? Warner Brothers. The Warner Brothers water tower. So, for those of you who don't know, Warner Brothers was initially owned by AT&T. Well, the phone company. Well, the communications company. Well, AT&T just sold Warner Brothers to the Discovery Channel, but Discovery as a company now owns WarnerMedia, Warner Brothers. and things are about to change. Things are about to shift. So a little bit of background into this thing. If you guys don't know, AT&T is the communications company. They're not in the media world, right? And so, and reports are that they were lying about their HBO Max subscription numbers. They were fudging those numbers to make them look better than they were. And so it was very, and it just got to a point where, and then they cut ties with, yeah, I know. We will, I'm sure we'll talk about it all week long. I don't want to stay too long on this topic, but, they were fudging their numbers and like doing some crazy stuff. They were ticking off all their creative, we just went on a whole rant about how important creative people are in the industry. And these guys just didn't know what they were doing. It was a botched operation, right? I know, well, Zach can elaborate on this more, but there's a faction who supported the Snyder Cut, and then there's a faction like AT&T was a very big supporter of the Snyder Cut, and then there's some other people in Warner Brothers who weren't a fan of the Snyder Cut. So there was a division there. And so AT&T basically just said, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I'm done. We're going to sell it because we don't want to deal with the drama. They don't want to deal with the Snyder Cut fans. They don't want to deal with the backlash because they're not a production company, And so they cut ties and they decided to sell it, and they sold it to Discovery. Now and I think this is a great move. I think this is a good move. And the reason why I say that is because Discovery, yes, it's a reality network, right? It's like, so people might be like, what? That's so strange. Like, what's going on? And to be clear, they are making a brand new company. They are developing a brand new company that they will give a brand new name. Hopefully it's Warner Brothers. I think it's Warner Brothers something. It should be Warner Brothers something. And the reason why I say that is because Warner Brothers, that image right there, that logo is so iconic. There's such a legacy with the Warner Brothers logo and the Warner Brothers name. It's a studio that's been around forever. So for them to, like, if they don't name it Warner Brothers something something, like, that's dumb. I think that's stupid. So that's my 2 cents on the fact that they should name that Warner Brothers whatever. Warner Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovers, whatever they call the company. I don't know. But one thing that's good about Discovery in general is they prioritize. I mean, you see it and watch all their reality show content. If you don't, it's good content. Like, it's their model of business is if you have a show idea, if you can produce it well, and if you can produce it on budget, right? Like, your budget shouldn't balloon on anything, but like if you can keep it under budget and you can produce great content, they'll more than and and you pitch it the right way, right? Like, you got to go in, you got to pitch to them, you got to be like, I have this idea for this reality show. It's super cool. It's, this and that. You make it sound great. If you got a great idea, more than likely they will be welcomed. You will be welcomed with open arms over at Discovery, more than you would so much at AT&T or the old Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like I had that little spiel where I was talking about how important creatives are. Discovery understands that. Discovery knows that, yeah, I mean, this stuff lives and dies by its creators. Like, you have to have people who are hungry, people who are storytellers, but also respect the legacy of Warner Brothers, which I think AT&T did not. But I don't blame them because they're a communications company. They're not a production company. They don't know how to make things. They don't know how that works. Why they bought this? Well, I don't know. But either way, so all in all, that's all I'm going to say. There's a ton more here with the story. There's a lot more, but we will dive deeper. Probably we'll bring up the article and read excerpts from the article on Pop Culture Cave. That'll be on Friday at 11 a.m. with myself, Chuck, and Zach. So that'll be a fun time. We'll dive much deeper into the story of Warner Brothers. And I know Zach has a very interesting take on this. I'm sure Chuck does too. So that'll be a lot of fun back and forth. No doubt. We are up to 12 likes. Thank you guys so much. That is so great. I can't, my voice is going. I'm getting a little hungry. Who's hungry? If you're hungry, let me know. If you've had lunch, let me know. Do you eat during the show? What have you had for lunch? Let me know. Make me hungry, because I'm stupid hungry. Oh, I read that wrong. I read, I'm back. Had to check in with my knees. I was like, oh, are your knees bad? I wasn't sure. But anyways. But yeah. Tyson says he's hungry. I'm so hungry. Nick said he just had his lunch. You guys making me hungry. Ooh, Mandy is currently eating chicken teriyaki. That sounds so good right now. Like from Panda? Oh. 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 Oh, man. Oh, man. But yeah, so, and for the rest of the day, man, I gotta do boards. I gotta continue to storyboard the project, the thesis. I gotta board it. I have a meeting with my actors tonight. So probably, we're going to be talking about the script, talking about motivation. My biggest thing for me is when I look at my script, it's very much about like tracking the character's motivation throughout the story, right? And so that's kind of what I really want to sit down and do, and make sure that I almost hit that power button again. Ooh, I almost did it. To where the motivation of the character needs to track and it needs to make sense. And as long as, that's not the only thing you need to pay attention to, but as long as that stuff works, like you're pretty much going to make a solid movie. And like I said, we're pushing ourselves in terms of the VFX. Like it's something that I've always loved movies with VFX. I've loved Star Wars. I've loved Harry Potter. I've loved Jurassic Park. I've loved, I've been a huge VFX guy my whole life. Didn't go into VFX, right? Didn't study VFX as my career. But it's a skill that I've acquired over the year and a half or whatever, because that's just who I am. I'm somebody, I love to learn new things. And so this project is a vehicle for me to be able to display everything that I've learned in a fun, interesting way. We are in a time limit. Obviously, it's got to be like 10 minutes. So it's not this big grandiose thing. I know a lot of people like Zach and my producer and a lot of people have had to reel me back and kind of pull me back into the reality of the scope of the project, because I've been like, what if we add this? What if we do this? And a lot of people have had to been like, yeah, but okay, but you got like a little window here. So I'm excited. But what's great about what we're doing on the channel is there are no limits for the original content for this channel. And there are no limits to what we can do. We can go as big as we want to. We can make it as crazy as we want to. Just saying. And we are. There are some things in the pipeline that will blow your mind. I guarantee you. And yeah, that's my goal. My goal is to make you realize how much is possible on a seemingly small budget, right? We will always push the limit and push our creative boundaries with having less than the big guys. And when we have as much as the big guys, cool. Just means we can do more, we can produce more stuff. But I'm very excited to show you guys all the stuff. I want to create, that's my thing. I'm a filmmaker. I've been a filmmaker my whole life. So any opportunity or any platform that I can create and I can build myself to where we just make the content for you guys, fire. Like dream on, like achievement unlocked, like that's what I'm building for. So Nick says he gets really excited about ideas. No, I have, and there's some things that I haven't even brought up to anybody. That's in the team that I've been thinking about that I want to do. So I have to bring that up in the next couple meetings. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. I think that's gonna be the end of the show. unless you guys have some other topics that you want to talk about. Again, you can show your support by, you can just show up every week around lunchtime. Even if you're just like, oh, I'm going to go on my lunch break and I'm just going to pop the show on and listen. That's showing support. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all we really require. Honestly, that's all we need. But you can also drop a like button if you have to show up and then you got to dip. Just hit that like button before you go. Helps out a ton. And then also too, you can join the channel and become a member and get exclusive perks that way. It'd be fun. And also too, I mean, and that's going to evolve obviously, right? Like right now we're in our infancy, we're growing. We have a lot of stuff coming, but there, you know, I think it'll be very interesting. And I think hopefully you'll be very pleased because if you get in early now, you'll be able to see the evolution of our content and you'll be able to see us grow as a community. And I just think it's good. So if you get in now, you know, you be one of the originals. And I think it's going to be super fun to be able to say that one day. But either way. And then also my social medias are down here. TBAB Edits on Instagram. You can follow me there. I also have my Snapchat, which is, I mean, I just usually post when I go live. And I may start doing like pre-live like recordings of me because it gets a little nutty around like, woohoo, I get a little nutty before I go live. Like I get hyper and all sorts, you know, so I may start like posting videos there. So you can follow me there if you want to. Yeah, I should put my Twitter down there as well, but I didn't. We will get that there. But anyways, not sure if Zach is going to stream tonight. Usually he streams Smash on Thursday nights around 10 o'clock. He may stream tonight as well. I know it's on the schedule, but I'll have to talk to him and figure out if that's what he's going to do. So if you guys be on the lookout for that because that may pop in, you can hit the notification bell to be notified when he goes live with his Smash streams. That's just Smash Brothers, and you can join the lobby and you can play the whole community that we have there on the Smash streams. And then the next show, I think, is the Gaming Twins show on Thursday. I think that's the next show. So either way, it's going to be a fun time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I have a great time talking about movies. I hope that you guys enjoy listening my ramblings and my thoughts on movies and movie news. And yeah, continue to enjoy the rest of your day. I hope your week is fantastic. And I cannot wait to see you on the next videos. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. Take care, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.